Hello everybody, welcome to the top 5 tips for the month of July. Let's begin with research grants. A lot of you that are free to play like myself are looking for an opportunity to pick up a free Mr. Fantastic, whether it's from a 6-star perspective or indeed a 7-star perspective. If you're Thronebreaker, you can only get up to 25 grants overall. This was confirmed by Kabam in this image right here, which you can see all of them are emblemed against what is uncollected, and of course that all adds up to 25. If you are looking to get the 6-star version, it will very much quite strict on what you do to kind of pick it up, which will be the July Traders Outpost. It's the June Traders Outpost, so hopefully you've got that. The Future Foundation event, which is dropping in the month of August, and then there's some others. If you're looking at terms of picking up the champion, Kabam have confirmed, obviously, for Thronebreaker, that you'll have to wait, or Thronebreaker and lower, you'll have to wait until, I think it's like September time when that last August Traders Outpost comes in. For those that are Valiant and Paragon, there will be a little bit of a breather for you, but you still have to pick up the August Traders Outpost, and everything that's above right there, you can see where the mouse is, you're going to have to do. Kabam have also said that the extent of how much you should have by given times, which is July, you should have up to 45 by the end of August, up to 70 by the end of September, you'll have 110. That's how much you need in order to grab yourself the champion, as you can see based on this image right here. Which you can see that's 100 right there. I'm sure some people will kind of like still question about Mr. Fantastic being a champion to go for, but at least what you do is you do get a rank 1 to 3 gem, well, not a gem specifically, but a 1 to 2 and a 2 to 3 gem, which adds a little bit of extra value and interest for a lot of players, because it's not just about Mr. Fantastic. The extra rank up gem saves you a bunch of resources at the same time. In terms of recommendation and tips, I would largely push yourself through it. We'll be covering on the channel each and every time there's a new way to grab some more of these intels, these grants. So we'll do that, including a large amount is in the Incursion Saga. You get 10 within there. And of course, there's other things as well. We'll be doing guides on the channel, and I'll be covering the Future Foundation event, which I think coincides with the release of the Fantastic Force Recruitment, but we'll see if there's maybe something a bit different to that nearer the time. Tip number 2 is going to be about the Fantastic Force Recruitment and its brand new mode that's coming in. This will be your main area to get things like Mysterium, which is sandwiched in between the week 2 of the month of July and the latter point of it. So you're going to have to be very careful about how you manage your Mysterium, because it might think that this, you might think there's a bit kind of like, oh, you get something you don't. There were some really interesting things that were revealed in this particular mode. For those interested and familiar with the likes of balatro, poker, the game of poker, then this will be all very much kind of like a known thing for you of how to play this particular mode. Effectively, you just want to get yourself points. The more points you get, or better configurations of points, the more efficient you're going to earn. You can see a breakdown of some of the champions that you'll see as part of the different factions that are able to get points, and you can see there, if we pause on the screen, the various different types of combinations. If you're able to get Super Suit, Certified Force, then you're going to be having the bulk of the points each time, but don't underestimate the potential. And this is RNG, from what it seems, that you're able to draw new heroes. It's like a deck builder, kind of like squad builder type game mode. It's going to be, I'm sure some people won't like it, but I know a lot of people that will like it. And I'm one of those people that like it. You know, we covered some games on the channel. So yes, look at poker suits, kind of familiarize yourself with balatro, the game of poker, and I'm sure that you'll get a bit of enjoyment from this when this releases next week. But it'll be trial and error, and I would say just figure out, just have a little bit of a poke around with it. And top tip, familiarize yourself with poker, familiarize yourself with this screen right here, and go, okay, well, that's the combinations I need. Familiarize yourself with the icons of the factions, and I'm sure you'll have a bit of enjoyment with setting up teams in a certain way. Next tip, and we're back in game for the Realm event. So top tips around the Realm event is that you're just going to have to do as much as you can to facilitate getting the points. Very vague, Yes, very vague. Unfortunately, the mode, when it was sort of the event, has been very much kind of tipped in a vague sense to the community, and trying to gauge the right point acquisition method, not knowing what's happening in August and some of the things unknown about July, it's difficult to go where's the best amount of points from, and can you miss anything out. Number one, you cannot miss anything apart from 15,000 points, but it's not clear what is available for each individual progression group. Now, there are certain things like you can repeat back the Battleground season between, say, July and August. So it's like, okay, well, I go, okay, I'll do that again come August. So there is that opportunity right there. You're meant to get 300,000 points. That is very much for, I think, Paragon and Valiant, and anything lower, not so much. But do as much as you can. Make sure to do the Battlegrounds objectives on a daily basis or 48-hour basis, because those meet for grabbing a bulk of the amount of points that you'll require for this event. It's going to be very rough. I am doing regular update videos on this. At the moment, it seems like I'm doing one per day. I didn't do anything on Thursday, but I tell you what, if we don't get any more answers, I feel like or if we get loads of answers, then I'll be updating you regularly. I'll have to have like a whole bloody series kind of devoted to it. So just do as much as you can. Suck it up when it comes to Battlegrounds. Sorry, that's not a nice thing to say, but you're just going to have to try and get wins. I don't really advise this. Maybe you shouldn't do this, but forfeit out some matches, reduce down your medals, and therefore get better kind of matchmaking as a result. It's not an advisable thing, but if you're looking as a lower player to get advantage or kind of get wins, and you might actually be helping out a fellow summoner in the meantime, so maybe you might want to do that as well. But that's each to their own with kind of like forfeiting. Don't recommend it, but it is a way of getting some easy wins or kind of like getting some losses in a row, helping out someone else, but also helping yourself out with kind of getting yourself down the pecking order to hopefully get a better matchup. Maybe don't go up quite as quickly to Vibranium 1. Kind of like hover backing like Diamond or lower areas to get your wins. And in the last few days of the season, ramp your way up to get into Vibranium, ramp your way up to get into Gladiator Circuit, therefore benefiting from better and easier wins in the process. I'm sure some people will say, I shouldn't be recommending that, Rich. That's not particularly good. Well, look, there's going to be people out there that are going to suffer. So what do you say? Suffer more, get good. That's not good advice. That's not nice advice, though, is it, to say that? But good luck in the methods in which you secure points. And, of course, we will learn more about where you can go to get more points in the future. So tip number 4 is prepping units for the future. It's time to think about the end of the year, but also it's time to think about Act 9.3. If we've had leaks out there for what the boss is going to look like in Act 9.3, then do you know what's important? That's right, preparing for the offer. Kabam are going to launch an offer. All the time they do this at the end of those particular quests. So will you need 15,000 units like you needed last time, or will you need more? In this day and age, I don't trust Kabam when it comes to deals. The effectiveness of rising up unit costs is giving me always a worry with the future, and players like myself that are trying, and also other casual players that are trying to make gains at the moment. So farming units is going to be important. Statcast relics is on screen at the moment because I'm like, well, you will likely have to spend units in order to, or spend on units, or spend your units in order to get more Statcast relics, especially to kind of like put across a lot of champions. So you might need a lot of units in a very short space of time. I also think that Kabam will launch some sort of unit-based event between now and say about October, November time, as guess what? That comes in a month before Cyber Weekend deals. And that is when they're going to be like, right, well, here's something for you to spend units on. You're going to be like, oh no. I also think there's going to be a very nice piece of endgame piece of content this year. Maybe if we get the Realm event up to a certain point, we'll get that announcement, which then will likely mean that you'll need a lot of units for that particular type of event. Maybe I'm wrong, but patterns always repeat themselves when it comes to Kabam deals, monetizable deals, and what this year and last year saw when it comes to that. So farm units, go to arena, put arena boosts on, go and grab as many units as possible, especially if you're free to play. And of course, if you've got Radiance, it might be advisable to go and grab that 750 every 35 days because it does add up over the course of a year. Oh, and for the love of God, make sure to do your super daily on a daily basis. I cannot stress how much these add up with that 30 units per time over 365 days. And my final tip, which might not be seen as a tip, but it's a recommendation, get as much content done. I have set myself a target. I must be done with the Saga Incursions, Valiant Difficulty, all the Alliance War showcases, as much as possible in Battlegrounds, Paragon Gauntlet. I have to have all this done and start farming a little bit more units and try and get 9.2 done by the end of the month. Before, well, and of course we've got the forced recruitment. There's a lot of stuff to get done in the month of July. I feel that it can burn a lot of players out. I am feeling a little bit stressed by it all, but it is what it is when it comes to this game, when they ramp up the release of things. And Command will say, yeah, we don't have to do everything now. Yes, well, it's very different when you're going to do coverage on YouTube on these matters. So I would say to a lot of people, just take a bit of time, watch out for guides and information, and try to get this done as much as possible. Act 9.3 will likely be either released next month, as in August, or the month after. I think it's going to be August. So this is all about trying to just try and enjoy yourself as much as possible. Oh, and the Realm event. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So try and enjoy it. Try and get stuff done. Be proactive with your playing game, and try and take a bit of time for yourself as well. And just go, this isn't. Oh, and the raids month and the Alliance Wars as well season. Oh my! Try and be cool in what is a very hot time. Kabam really like to throw it at us sometimes. Anyway, that's been it for the top tips for the month of July. I'll see you next month for a load of other tips and things and see what it's about. And of course, we'll be doing guides individually for different things as well. Thanks for the support. See you soon, and bye-bye.